Hello and welcome to Endless Space. Now this is, well, this is not live commentary. I did do a live commentary version of this, but for whatever reason my audio was completely balked and therefore, yeah, it didn't quite work out. Also, because I recorded the last 5 videos or so back to back and I did them pretty much like this, thankfully, for whatever reason it didn't balk on the other 4 videos, but it did on this one. So, yeah, hurrah. Anyway, yeah, this is a little odd because I don't normally do commentary after the fact, especially not on a series where I've been recording live for the first 10 episodes. So, yeah, I'm going to be pretty much giving my thoughts on what I'm doing as I watch myself having already done it. Odd. I won't make a habit of this, even if it turns out to be an awesome video, which I doubt. I'll also probably notice all the mistakes I'm making, so that's something. Hurrah for this system. Anyway, at this stage of the game, I think I've pretty much now kind of gone into a sort of ceasefire with the Sheridan. Moon surveys. Honestly, it's always worth doing these if you can, and I should be doing them a lot earlier than I have been doing. Because honestly, you can get so much good stuff out of the moon surveys. I forget how many temples there are, but yeah, I mean, honestly, I explored this a lot later, but it's basically food and money production out of explored moons. Even if it turns out to have nothing else on it, and it does have the occasional temple drop as well. And temples are phenomenal. Oh, by the way, the Zeo system's awesome, and it's the first good system we found in the Hisho's territory. And yeah, that was convenient. I brought up the name, so I didn't have to forget who it was. But yeah, point-wise, I'm now double the Sheridan, who are still trying to take Lonica off me, the Goits. But it's not going to matter. 19 turns, I've got more than a load of ways of dealing with that. In fact, with the fleet that weak, I can actually just wait for Lonica to build its own. Oh dear. I'm also kind of wondering why I even bothered designing the Reliance, because I've not really made that much point of using them. You don't need to. The Vindicators are fine for the most part. The only reason for building other types of ships is if you, for whatever reason, are expecting to be blockaded, and then you might need a backup type of fleet, which is what I've got with the Defenders, basically. Oh, money is getting a little ridiculous. And now I'm getting to adaptive taxation and a few other things. Yeah. So, Setsus nearly conquered, and we have, yeah, those 2 ships are already stronger than the fleet that's actually attacking Lonica, so that's a round journey back to there. So, Vindicators will experience going and basically sorting out the people I've left back there. By the way, defending your systems. Make sure you've always got that blockade up, because then they have to fight their way through you. Otherwise, you have these sorts of problems. Now, more things have been built. Hooray. So yeah, that's the main one there. That's just so much money for having moons explored. So I probably already went over this last video. I know people a lot of the times ask me to go and show off the battles a lot. Yeah, I do that a few times, because I think I try to show off his special ability at one stage during the Let's Play. But I really don't do it an awful lot, because if you're playing online against other people, it slows the game up for them. And since I was doing a Let's Play, and the sequences take about a minute, close to. And yeah, 4X games are long. I mean, I didn't mean to have the videos quite this long when I was doing it. I wanted to basically split it off at 25, 30 minutes. But just, I think the difference between this and Move Free is basically that with Move Free, yeah, I'm trying to get it done in half an hour, and then yeah, half-hour warning. No, I'm out of here. With Move Free, it was basically, I can just do a couple more turns. Honestly, if a game's getting you to think that way, it's good. It doesn't need to do much else. Sure, there are some minor issues with this game. But that's why they're still patching it, really. I mean, they've actually added 2 versions since I've done this Let's Play, or at least 2 sort of revisions of this update patch. Which, what was this on? I think this was 1 4-6, I think, which was just literally after the Polaris thing. Or the Polaris, the Christmas workshop type thing. Which, yeah, it's on the Nicker and they're not having it. They're not having Father Christmas off of us. Not a chance. And he wears green, by the way. Green! Random rants about everything. Hurrah. I'm going to be worse than normal for this because I'm less likely to be distracted by what's going on because I'm not actually doing anything. Dear God, this is going to be Ramblematronic 10,000. Ramblematronic 10,000? Where the hell did that come from? Don't know. Moving on. So yeah, the Sheridan are going to retreat from this because that's what they do. I should really be using Sabotage a lot more than I have been doing. Engineering is quite good for just the initial armor thing, but I know they're going to retreat, and if they don't... Oh, they are destroyed automatically because they've got nowhere to retreat to that's their own territory. I think they could technically retreat to the Phasis system. I think with the way the game kind of works, but for whatever reason that didn't happen. But yeah, I still haven't quite worked out the retreating system because occasionally they will retreat into a open territory, which is what I thought they do. Maybe they can't retreat through wormholes. I don't know. Because if they can't retreat through wormholes and I own all of the other systems they can get to, that might explain why they were destroyed. I really need to learn with that exploit if I'm going to play online. Or at least find out whether it is an exploit or whatever. Rambling! So yeah, here I'm basically just trying to get my systems up to a massive production boost. Psychological installation, the tax thing, which is 2 gold per population per on a system with a moon, I think, or something like that. I'm shaking my mouse around like mad. I do that. Yeah, adaptive taxation is just so good. 2 gold per population point. It's for 5, I think. And yeah, Planetary Institute is really cheap to build. And this is a nothing system, this one, Zetsus. The Zeo system is, though, very much a system we want. And because of all of my mass bonuses, it's 6 turns. And Zeo, yeah, because it's a decent system, it can defend from there. It's why I consider Placidus almost safe, because it's just... If a system can produce its own defenses quite rapidly and has a lot of population points, it's that much more difficult to take. Lonica with 21 is next to impossible to take without a ridiculous fleet, and if a ridiculous fleet has got that far, then I've got more problems than just losing that system. I mean, remember, right at the start of this, I took actually a weakness in defense, so this is with a weakness it's taking that long. Greatest strength you can have in this sort of game for defending your planets is population points. And I almost never build defense buildings at this stage. I mean, maybe I would do if I'm against other players and I'm a bit more concerned about them attacking, but I'm just walking all over them at this stage, really. It's... That fleet under that commander is nigh untouchable. I have a tech advantage, and yeah, I mean, alright, I'm probably not even top of the military board at this point of the game. The Sheridan have more military than me, I'm next to certain of that. But it's the quality of the military. They've got nothing that can touch my top fleet. And because of that... Oh, here we go. I now decided, you know what, I've got spare hero slots, let's put them in. Because I need to upgrade my science and my money production at this stage. So, hurrah. There's no point in going for the plus 10 gold or the plus 10 science at this late in the game. It's not worth it. If you go a bit later into the tech tree, though, the elephant upgrade, as I'd like to refer to it, does have the plus 20 science attachment. So this is me. Just put it onto whatever's got the highest science rating because meh. So there we go. And it automatically jumps it up to size 2. And interestingly, it's not even building science. It's building money. Let's see what else. Yeah, considering Brokers Guild and things here a bit, but considering I'm at Eternal War and I've been pretty much crushing everybody else, there's no point in having the trade bonuses. I've built fairly successful trade races. In fact, going with the default amoebas is quite fun if you can survive and you don't expand too quickly. Which is a bit of a contradiction, because if you don't expand too quickly, you get crushed late game, but it's a fine balance, and I think it's slightly too difficult to play like that. But it does help you quite nicely onto a diplomatic and even an economic victory if you can pull off that. But no, I ultimately failed. But that's a future game and not one that I actually LP'd, so we'll talk about things like that a bit later. Anyway, back to here. More happiness, because happiness is king. Yeah, careful sweeping, awesome. That's the reason for exploring moons, actually. Careful sweeping. I'm putting the cultivation logistics on there purely because it's not fully maxed yet. I know I'm going to be building the psychological installation, which adds extra population points anyway, so meh. Once the system gets north of 20 people, it's already it's a mad production powerhouse, regardless of anything else. So there is the fleet building on Mundus, which is mostly built out of Vindicator 9s, I think we're using at this stage of the game. More moons, by the way. Yeah, the Gatria system was never a good one. It was just basically there to hold off, which it did a fairly good job of doing, it has to be said. Oh dear. So, what can I ramble on about next? 11 minutes in. I just don't know how long this video is. I think it's about half an hour, 35 minutes maybe. But, yeah, Rambletron 3000. Let's keep... Have I just downgraded myself from 5 to 3? Yes, I have. Hurrah! So, update video type things. Yeah, Doom's now my daily video, so there'll be an upload of Doom every day, and I'll be alternating between Endless Space and Master of Orion 3 until they're finished. Which, as I said, Endless Space is going to be finished quite soon, actually. This is... I've only got about 4 or 5 videos after this. Because I'm just that dominant in the galaxy. It's just, no. Somebody else mentioned in the comments, I haven't gone on the other 2 wormholes to Salonika. 2 reasons. Firstly, I never like, and this is a fact, if I'm in this sort of game, you don't really want to be trying to fight everybody at the same time. By the way, the Soas, that pink race, is the one that's through Lonica. But really, they haven't actually threatened me at all up to that point. Oh, also, now Stasis Fields. Stasis Fields are ridiculously good. So that's level 3 or 4 ships off the bat. I forget on that one. But since they've now declared war on me, I am now building a Vindicator fleet. It'll be done in about 10 turns, and I've already got a sort of defense there. And if needed, I can move my Bundus fleet over there. That's really not threatening me. But yeah, if I'm in this sort of game, which I knew I was going to be in once I took the central area, if you try and fight everybody at the same time, you can get a little overwhelmed. So I made sure that I was attacking the Sheridan, I was only attacking the Sheridan, and why I did call the ceasefire earlier when I had to go and defend my other weaker side of the Empire. Yeah, send over the fleets to Lonica at this stage, because I don't know quite what they've got. I can expect them to have a reasonable fleet. Certainly not on the level of what's currently attacking Half and on the other side of the map. But it's something I've got to consider. So we wait. But yeah, also, because they were similar to the other Soa race, I assumed they wouldn't be very quick. So if they did attack me, I'd have plenty of time to react to anything they try. Whereas the Sheridan obviously has the higher race and with the ability to fight me more, it was more important to just concentrate on attacking them while I was attacking them. Now that I'm at this sort of stage, though, with two untouchable fleets almost now, and yeah, I know now that I can transfer ships between the fleets, but no. Really, both of those fleets are untouchable, so it's now a case of just pretty much wait out the game. I could fight additional people. There's almost no point in attacking the Tyler system, because actually, strangely, that being there is protecting me from much more dangerous things. Oh yeah, I take the elephant here. Should take the elephant anyway. 20% science boost on that system. And by the way, here comes the Soa fleet. Awesome. Lots of things have been built. And the Sheridan have decided to attack the Yabala system, which took me a while to work out where it was. Guess where that is? Yep, there it is. They snuck a fleet round right the way to there, and in 11 turns they take the Yabala system. It's also about a 5,000 strong fleet, so that's not something that I can just go out and deal with in a short order. Mind you, since all my Vindicators have nearly 1,200 power anyway, it's, yeah. This is me just quickly calculating and working out exactly how much, yeah, resolve all movements. Whoops. Don't want to name fleets. We do want to merge some things up, though. What I should have done was really kept it as 2 fleets, because then I could have wiped both sections out quite easily. I still can, technically, with the paladin ships I've got there, but, yeah. Level 17. No point in going Science Leech with this guy, because he's not... I'm not put this guy anywhere at all into fleet combat, which I probably should have done by now. Production leaders are fine, but if you can get them into fleet combat as well, do so. Dedicated fleet commanders are awesome, and I'm slightly disappointed I never got one, really. As you can see, I've now got the adamantite, was that? Or... I forget. Either way. The next thing that's building is an extra 30% ship tonnage on everything, which just, yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, always exploit, always exploit. Unfortunately, that place was far too slow for me, so I figured, right, build things. Get some happiness in there. And it just shows I've got too many planets, really, because I haven't actually had any real chance to upgrade. This entire arm of the galaxy is quite bad, really, in terms of overall fleet ability. 72 production only from this place. But getting rid of Toxic and doing the moon surveys is important. At this stage, I'm actually partially concerned that I'm about to lose a planet. It wouldn't be the end of the world, because... I mean, it's not the end of the world. I could just go and conquer it. This is probably one of my strongest systems in this part of the galaxy, and it's not really optimized either. But it can build Vindicators in... It can build 3 Vindicators in a few turns. So even this isn't really good enough. Oh dear. Also, intensive cultivation is really good, actually. I should have really been building that a little earlier. Even on planets where I do kind of have all the food production, it's still kind of worth it, even though it's not, oddly. Because obviously there's plenty of upgrades like that, for example, which just give you a massive population boost. So that's 2 per planet with a moon and 1 per planet which doesn't have a moon. So instantly on a 5 planet system, that's between 5 to 10 population upgrade. And it is fairly ridiculous. So yeah, just one staging it, because I've got 10 times their fleet strength. They're retreating. They're not fighting that off. It's slightly irritating that they can do that, but meh, it happens. At this stage, I'm just pretty much debating how the heck do I go and take that? And defending everything else, because... But really, yeah, just... Inner hull's actually quite good. It's a pricey upgrade, though, to be honest, and... But, yeah, the extra ship health and also the automatic upgrade to level 3 is quite a substantial boost for any ships that are built, so... So anyway, 10 turns to prevent the Sheridan from taking a system which is miles away from their territory. There we go. The Minis now has the +10 science boost. We now have our Jadenix monopoly, because they've obviously abandoned somewhere. And because, again, I forgot to blockade the system, they decide to go and retreat and go into some silly place, part of the galaxy. But thankfully, because I've got so much speed, another advantage taking the speed early on, honestly, it becomes a bit wasteful towards maybe a little after this game, because you've got too much speed, strangely. But, darn it. And you just go anywhere, and then there's another upgrade you can get later on which links all your wormholes. You don't need as much speed as I've got currently on there towards the end of the game, but what I don't realise here is that they've actually blockaded the system, which is what I should have been doing. So what I do is I go out there and I go, no. Yeah, quick check of how they're building. It's always worth making sure of that, because I tend to go heavily on missiles, and I do this online as well. largely because everybody else seems to. I'm not sure whether it's currently the best though, to be honest. I do like specialising in laser tech, but you've got to specialise in one of them. And now here's where I debate here's where I work things out. I can get there in so little time. And look, oh dear, there's another fleet which I can't actually attack this turn. But yeah, I should have been blockading this off a long time ago. Oh well. Half is now ours, so the Sheridan are now losing critical territories at a rate of knots. They have almost nothing to oppose me anymore. In fact, the biggest problem with me attacking the Sheridan at the moment is that they do have areas behind me. The Hadar Sing system. And I think by this stage I've worked out they have warp technology because they are jumping without using the star lanes to get to places. Also, Fleet Commander over there. Bye-bye Fleet Commander for a few turns. And because I think they attacked, I can actually do it again, so it's a little weird sometimes. Engineering and engineering. And so long to all that. And in 5 turns, their system will be ours as well. And we have finally mapped half of the galaxy. So huzzah there. We've seen half the galaxy and we own nearly all of what we see, so that shows you how well we're doing on a military front. This time I do remember to block off the GU system because they've again got through. Yeah, it's slightly annoying when I forget to do that. So yeah, if you take nothing else from this, always defend your systems. And also, when you've just built a fleet up to go and deal with the enemy empire's movement, don't then move the fleet away later on in the turn because you've forgotten they're there, like I've just done. Hooray! I get to criticise my own mistakes, and yeah, awesome. Ah, dear. So there's me desperately building some paladins. They don't have enough power really to go and fight them off, but they can't build vindicators because they don't have access to... Actually, they do have access to titanium. Well, they don't have access to them. It might be a type of missiles or... Sorry. Might be a type of missiles or something, but either way, they don't have access to the materials to build vindicators, which is a little annoying. But paladins are better than nothing with 10 turns to go. Yeah, this isn't... There's a few random bits and pieces here, but with the paladins only having something like 300, yeah, that's the one. They don't have the what is it called? Hexaferrum. Thank you, me, for highlighting that for me. This is me now just quickly working out whether I can do it. Yeah, if I don't have the increased tonnage, I can actually build defenders. So there we go. So defenders now have 800-ish attack power. And they can be built reasonably quickly. So huzzah, I've got my defences set up and in 8 turns, they're there. Also, happiness. Hydro sequencing and stuff and things and moonbeams and cake and mustard brains. All that good stuff. So, turn 124 and look at how much money I'm now generating. It is silly. It is absolutely silly to have 1,500 gold in reserve. And because people have moved on, I've got some monopolies back. So another Vindicator fleet being built up because why not? And invasion of the Ukta system, which is a stupid idea. 37 turns because of how strong that fleet is. It was a stupid idea. Sabotage, and sabotage. Because of the way they fight, they'll almost always win that one, but they retreated anyway. So that's fine, and then we move over to there and go, hello. Do I have a go at taking it with that? Sorry if you can have a dog, by the way. But, Yeah, I'm still not really learning my lesson here because I still haven't blockaded that system off yet. Blockade the system off, darn it. Do it. Even though I know I don't. Or I don't think I do anyway. So yeah, invasions and counter-invasions, but lots and lots and lots of reserve money. And also, as I say, quantum substrates is now going to basically... Why did I stop building them? Now I wish I remember what I said there, because that's a bad decision by me there. Bad me from a couple of weeks ago. Bad. No, I'm playing abysmally here. Janus can... Yeah, well, I suppose that's fine. It's basically getting all the upgrades, the taxation bonuses, the population boosts, the hydro sequencings. Because they're all worth... Okay. Things going a bit wrong, seemingly. I'm not sure whether that's just because of the way I'm recording it now, or because it's just stuff and things and moonbeams. But yeah. Oh, also, that that Hisho fleet's still in my territory because it's just not worth doing it. They know they can't take anything there. I have so much production and things in reserve. It's silly. What I'm doing here is basically all of these sort of systems, my starting empire, if you like. Now, almost all sort of batteries or money batteries for the empire. So I know I've built up a reserve of 1,600. And now, because I've got that reserve, I can afford to lose money upgrading these so they become better money batteries. And that is sort of the thinking here. Z plus 79 I can go to now. And if I change the next money battery, which I think was... No, actually, I might not have done that. That is fine. Because there's no need to make 200 gold a turn. I'm not going to spend it. There's no way I'm going to spend it. But there is a logic if I'm going to make a temporary loss so I can get an overall upgrade later. I think this is where I work out that I'm actually 1% of the way to an economic victory at that much money. I don't know how much you need for an economic victory, but it's something ridiculous. Also, Lonica now wants to be invaded by you again. So I have two empires attempting to take me. Also, quantum substrates. And that allows access to adamantine, or adamantite, whatever it is. I'm thinking Dwarf Fortress, aren't I? Dwarf Fortress. I've got that on the brain at the moment. I've actually got a map out version of how my third fortress starting layout goes. So I might be recording that afterwards if my voice feels up to it, because it feels like it's going a bit at the moment. We'll see. We shall see. Here we go, sensor platforms. So now that we got that, both the technologies, we can now actually access each of the specials. So Soil Summoner. Oh well, we're still missing Quadrinix. We don't have that yet. But pretty much we got everything we need. Also, yeah. Sing's the Tree of Life, I think. So Tree of Worlds, rather. Tree of Life? No, that's Wheel of Time again. I'm rereading Wheel of Time again. I've finished now the 14th book rather. So I finished the whole series, and what do? Put that on a shelf, goes back to the first one. Because I read all of them reading up in the build up to the 14th one coming out, and now I'm finished. I'm restarting it. I'm slightly obsessed. Must be. Ah well, it's fine. Even if the audiobook's somewhere. I have to work out when they release the 14th one. Oh well. No, I'm a Wheel of Time fanatic, and actually my Dwarf Fortress LP is kind of based on it. It's a bit weird. But if they will send warrior dwarves, I kind of have to play a sort of warrior dwarfish kind of build. Or at least initial theming. Which is all Dwarf Fortress is, initial theming, and then hoping it works. So hurrah! The show are now not going to be able to go and... that was a bit of a misclick, but I suppose it does allow me to actually sort of secure that area. Oh, do I actually blockade it? Go on, blockade. There we go. We actually remembered to blockade things. There we go. So our blockade supersedes their blockade, because obviously blockades. And next turn, that mighty fleet arrives, and it will go and spank them for daring to enter my territory and invade right a little bit at the back. So this is your half-hour time warning now. And we're still going on. Yeah. But this is definitely a one more turn thing. So this is what they offer. They offer ceasefire and mercurite, and I didn't accept it. I'm sure I didn't accept it. Where did I accept it? Well, because I'm immediately going to break it. But I didn't even need that. Isho decides to invade Aerie. If I remember where Aerie is, that's up in my original territory somewhere, and there's no point in taking that. I think this is me searching for it randomly now. I also think I prevented myself from taking the Turkana system by a single turn, which was an error. Definitely an error. So yeah, move up, secure the Placidus system, make sure they do not retreat from there. Yeah, and I just disband create for the moment. I'm just building up fleets, I guess, at this stage. But we have two minor empires which we need to conquer first at the rate we're going at the moment. We have the Sowers who have dared to challenge us again. They must die. And then we have the Hisho over on the right who we are already kind of making die at the rate of knots. No, they've given up trying to invade it, but no. They've got a fleet of 5,000. I'm not letting them sit there with a fleet of 5,000. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, we have a ceasefire. I break it before the turn even ends that they offered it in. Oh, dear. Oh, yeah, and that's how effective their invasion is of the area system. They cannot actually take it. Captain, they're arming lasers at us. That's almost what it feels like there, really. Somebody in a boat trying to invade England, I think, and the way it is at the moment. That's what this is essentially. Now, one guy with a flag on a small rowboat trying to invade England. That is basically what is happening at the area system. Oh dear. So now I've taken this year system, which is a phenomenal system. I didn't realise how good it was at the start because it doesn't give you population counts unless you have some spying ability, which is kind of in the game, but it's only on fleet commanders, so... And generally they have to kind of be in the right position. But anyway, that was awesome. This is a rubbish system. This is so bad. They've got one colonised area and it's got one person on it. I'm almost at this point tempted to just ignore it. But, yeah, we carry on because might as well. So, all of our monopolies are just checked, and we have all of our 40% attack and defense buffs all active. We continue on. Turn 127, A New Hope. And yeah, as you can see, I've got systems improperly queued looking at this. Tunnel slip gates are now done and active, so that's giving us now our benefit, which I'm trying to just look up. No, that was an automatic up. Yeah, that's what it was. That was an automatic one. So not only did I fall for it the first time, I actually fell for it when I was watching the recording and me falling for it the first time. Yay. Getting confused by things is awesome. So our Tree of Worlds planet is basically just gonna sit there and not do an awful lot, really, because what can you do with this, really? Increase the population size, I suppose, which is what I kind of do. Put some Hydra sequencing on, considering buying it outright at 1830. I do buy it outright at 1830. What the heck kind of play am I making? Oh dear. Well, I suppose it's secured. They've actually decided to move off, so I actually kind of reinforce at this stage. Which I always recommend doing. If the enemy decides to give you positions like that, don't break their blockades, but actually just try and keep them in the right position you want them to be. You don't want them attacking one of your inner planets if you can get them down to attacking a border planet, is what I mean. And always blockade. Why I have not managed to blockade anything is just... I'm half surprised Lonika's blockade is actually up, based on how I've been playing thus far. And yeah, I know I can transfer the fleets around, but I'm a bit... Actually, what am I trying to do here? Again, I wish I had my commentary so I could tell you. I'm just clicking ships at the moment. Click the ships. Click the ships. Oh, that's it. I'm just separating my Vindicators out. Okay, that makes kind of sense. So yeah, they're going to retreat again, and I think it's about now. Should I get a bit fed up with it all, and I decide, right, we're now going to war with this Soa fleet, really, just because it's there. The other thing I'm about to do, and I noticed that this is where I noticed they've got warp travel because there's nothing connecting those. So I figure, right, they want that system, they want the Phasia system off of us. Also, that's quite a nice thing to happen. We now have so much military power that we must be respected rather than mocked. So everybody's now kind of hated but neutral towards us, if that makes sense. And our military strength is second overall. Only the Red United Empire race probably has more. And yay, spending all that money was not a good idea. Go figure. So it's an easy enough fix. Just get one of our reasonable worlds back up to there and plus 297. Sometimes this game does not make sense. That's not a high enough production system to make 297. So I put it away, and guess what? 251. I don't get it either. This game at times... This is what I mean by some of the minor issues with the game. It either lied to me about going bankrupt, or it just really hadn't calculated things. Or at least hadn't calculated them properly. Or it's just giving me money that doesn't exist. Oh, by the way, they don't want to give us Transvine for peace. We consider that. Apparently that is, though, the end of it, so... Yeah. Alright, impromptu end. Huzzah. Till next time.